mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos, knocking those down no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made. Walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser. I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let's hear we eatin', talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad. Pull it like parades on parades, extra with the slab. Pay what it cost for the tab, extra with the band. Young Chris a king, better add extra on the. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Eagles and the Chargers coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion LA Chargers taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. So it all comes down to this. We are ready, and Super Bowl 58 off and running from New Orleans.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 27.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield, hit you little people.
Good run there. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Herbert. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody covered. Oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. That was close to a big play. Just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
See, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
He's a gain of 9. Brings up 3rd and 13.
A chance of wasting this great starting field position. A real threat. This is 3rd and long. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit. Needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will make it 6-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Charger drive about to get going. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Pick up there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Right back to Spiller on 2nd down. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
He's got it. It's Spiller. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On 1st and 10 is Spiller. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw here, Herbert. Finding Elliott for the catch on the out route. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, who can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And it's a fumble. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing is Hurts. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 6-0 is our score. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On 2nd down, Gainwell looking for space. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense, because to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Joey Bosa drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Aaron Sitbos now. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Herbert. Looking deep for Elliott. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. And that looked almost to be a case of, quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. On Herbert, his third interception. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
That one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. He'll drop to throw. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the gun to give to Gainwell. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Joey Bosa able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
How about that, buddy? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 33 yards. And the Eagles continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Charger drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Third and long, it's Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Play action. Here's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Offense set to begin their next drive.
And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. 70.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at him, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd and 8 coming up. They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. Hurts fumbles it. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw a 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They go play action with Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
On 2nd and goal, Hurts. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Multiple players getting home. for the 1-yard sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They'll look to run with Gainwell.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Oh, and they set the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45. On 1st down, it's Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 14.
We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium. It's Super Bowl 58.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the gun, a run by Spiller.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Herbert. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, the field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll get this to the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 59 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
And that's a good run, and I know he went out of bounds, so we can nitpick a little bit here and get on him and say, hey, make sure you stay in bounds, keep the clock running. But this stage of the game, Brandon, that's not really uppermost in his mind. He just wants to take care of the football and gain yardage.
Yeah, and they have a little bit of comfort there with it not just being a one-score game, so not too nitpicky. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He's going to look deep for Watkins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Eagles on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. On 3rd, here's an option play right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Charger drive about to get going. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Looking deep for Elliott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy would throw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Rolling to his left. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Let's go now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Hurts.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, a 15-yard touchdown Brown. And the Eagles are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Eagles 29. Chargers nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi Trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this when I think that part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 69 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down. He continues to be a major factor carrying the football here into the 4th quarter, Charles.
Another big gain on the ground. Big guys working strong up front. A lot of them not just taking care of business at the line of scrimmage, but getting into the linebacker spots and taking care of the second level as well.
And they're taking advantage of everything right now on the scoreboard with that lead. Then he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champs.
collective happiness makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game? No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies.